The next question, how will you ensure that all sides of an issue have a chance to be heard? Starting back down
Discussing all sides of an issue is key to any democracy, key to any council meeting. It's key to having our citizens engage and be with us when we do make decisions. That's basically it. We need to be transparent. We need to be able to stand up and take the risk to expose what we're talking about. You know, I hear the limitations of councils and discussions. And if you look around, I probably have more years on council than anybody here. There are limitations, but sometimes we take advantage of them to avoid doing some of the things that are tough. We need to be able to have meetings that are open to the public at all times.
Thanks. Hey, that's tall now. So one of the big principles of management that we see in all of our school textbooks and whatnot is that we have to hear what everybody's saying, listen to what they're saying in our teams so that we can come up with the best idea. Because as a manager, we don't have all of the correct answers, right? I own a salon, I'm not a hairdresser. I gotta ask my hairdresser stuff because she's the expert. So the ability to speak or to communicate with people is super important when you're trying to come up with a solution. Unless you think you're so smart, you've got the answers to every single question, you have to talk to people and you have to talk to everybody that has an idea so that you can come up with or work with them to come up with the best ideas to move forward. And that doesn't mean the idea that you started off with at the very beginning. Because a lot of people tend to think that way. Oh, got an idea, but I better listen to everybody and then just initiate my idea anyways. Make your idea better. Pull out the ideas from other people, find out what's going to work the best, and then move forward. You do that by talking to everybody and listening. Thanks.
Yeah, you're slipping. Thanks. Well, the key issue is communication. Absolutely. We have to be able to listen and really hear what you're bringing forward to us. I have done that. I feel I do that quite well. My phone number, my email is published, and residents have brought forward information for me. I have taken it towards council. We've had fulsome discussions on that. So I am not afraid to bring any issue forward. So no matter what you might be afraid to bring forward, I'm not afraid to bring forward. I will make sure that all council knows about it and we have a great discussion moving whatever issue it is that you want us to hear. So we also have a policy and priorities meeting which anybody can come and present to all of council so we all hear the same thing. That has been one of our mantras throughout this whole last 4 years, is that so that all council hears all the same thing so that we all have the same information so that we can make an informed decision. Thank you.
Okay, I'm not that short. All right, thank you very much. You know what we've done on council is done probably more public engagement than any previous councils in our time in the last 4 years. We also spend a lot of time doing surveys online so that we can not just go on paper, because some people just only want to do online surveys. So we have gone and done that. I'm a journalist. That's listening to people and voicing your concerns has been my lifelong career. So I've done that with council. I've always brought up all the issues that have been brought to me. I'm open to hearing all sides. I go into a council meeting. I don't have a set way I'm going to vote. I listen to everybody who comes to council and makes a presentation. Then I make the decision. So I'm always open to listening to everybody, and I bring those and voice those concerns. Thanks.
Well, I could just about say ditto, but as many of you that will recognize me today know that I'm a people person, and I like to see people, and I like to talk to people, and I like people to talk to me. And I've always felt that since I've been elected that I've always been open and available for questions. And I too have taken issues back to our council for fulsome discussions. We often don't get along at the council level, and that happens on many of the commissions and committees that I sit on. But at the end of the day, you have to hear everyone out, you have to listen and let them have their say, and then you have to try and make a decision and resolve it. And we can honestly say that at a council level, we will argue back and forth and walk out the door and still be friends and still be colleagues. But the bottom line is it's open and communication, and it goes both ways. It's a two-way street. Thank you.
One of the principles that I try and live by is Stephen Covey, and that's seek first to understand, then be understood. And there are many vehicles, as has been touched on here, around listening. And the key is listening, and certainly access and availability are two components of that. The town, I think, has done a fairly good job as far as surveys, and again, it's a two-way street. I encourage you folks, whether it's a budget survey, whether it's the chicken survey, whether it's the dog bylaw survey, stay in touch with that site as far as surveys and input. And certainly as hopefully a councillor, I'd be looking to engage with you folks and business residents to obtain and get your feedback, your interests, and what your concerns are.
Ditto? No. Some very, very great points made here. Thank you. The ladies and Darren just alluded to the surveys. Our budget survey garners about 1,400 to 1,600 hits every year, and for a municipality of 10,000 people, that's a really good sampling. So we're very happy with the way the administration has set up those surveys and public engagements and so forth. And the one thing that really struck me about everybody up on this stage today, everybody has alluded that our phone numbers are open. We're people. We want to engage and talk with you. And so I guess to have both sides of the issues heard, we should put a little bit of onus on you. Please pick up that telephone, write that email, stop us at the grocery store. It's part of our job, and we want to hear from you. Thank you.
Again, it comes back to the accessibility, I think accountability and transparency. If we have 10,000 people and we're only getting feedback from 5, we have to problem solve. Why is that? I don't have those answers right now, but I think that's something that I would like to question and bring up. To have more people have a choice to have all sides heard. And like what Mike said, everyone's got to take some onus on themselves as well. You can't just leave it up to us. So if you guys have issues, you guys also have to voice and let your fellow people know too that they should do that.
Thank you. So if many of you have watched the last federal election and the campaign that I ran on, it was about individual freedom, personal responsibility, fairness, and respect.